Well, alright, this is hopefully going to be my last video. I did, I think, 2 screenshots. So I know I was at least doing one, and I did another as a failsafe, as a title card for the YouTube channel. So, I can't do that. Wait, no, I can just pull it up. Alright, so if I go, I can get to the thing and then look at the comment from below. See videos. Refresh that. Alright. Then we go you. Because if I do this top corner over here, I'm going to hit the resume button. And what I need to hit is that notifications button right there. But this one that I just covered up. But it'll hit resume. So I can't do that. So I know I had typed it up. It's in. Okay, we'll move that. This one, the 102. So I haven't watched this in quite some time. He said at 22 minutes, I think. All right. So I'm going to do like 19. So I have a little bit extra, and hopefully my memory gets sparked.
My missing piece, my candle that would be able to define the full spectrum. And for me, this is different. Like, I've met a lot of people. For someone not able to fit in my prior things, I'm just dumbfounded. Now, me explaining that almost instantaneously, because I'm thinking about it, because I'm trying to get a counter argument.
All right, so it's recording now, but this is non-responsive, so I had used the camera app to take a photo. So I'm going to pause again. All right, so I'm trying to do workarounds because everyone keeps coming out. I keep talking. They're all interested, and I've been trying to alleviate my stress. So, or they're doing their thing because it's actually a little chilly, but it's nice out in the sun. I'm sure it's nice. I'm in the shade right now. So I was trying to download the video so I can go offline, but so we were discussing candles and Brian's comment. Which he discusses his own thing. If you want to read more, I'm going to see what I wrote. And my phone's about to die, and then I won't be able to do, because I don't have my AT&T smartphone. A14 SM something, A14. It's literally, if you look at the model number, it's SM. It says smart. I forget how. There's ASCII in there, but it's how I use my smart. Okay, it's a literal. Let's just say anagram of my understanding of what smart actually is to me. So there's only one smart. It's not the kind of smart that my drink company is going to give you, but that smart and all this information was inspired by my core puzzle piece that I took a while back. Wasn't mine to take, but I did. I learned it from you, okay? You. So I have to remember where the camera is. Each camera is different, and I'm looking at myself. All right, so if I move the camera up here, it's right under, it's the center point. Let's go right there. The camera's right above where the 2 little parts of my hair are. About, I'd say 3/4 of a thumbnail. So, and I'll show you my thumbnail. It's that big. So, we'll just go ahead and discuss the comment, and we'll run this until it dies, and we'll try to upload it later. So I'm not going to read this part, but his analogy was Bruce Lee down at the bottom, and which was, since he's processing his own data, and you can't change anyone, and you can't change yourself to be what they want. I've learned that in the past, because people initially like me because I'm a bad boy. I do stupid shit. I get things done, but I'm always, they're like, how do you get out of trouble so much? It's because I'm like, because I know the rules and regulations. I read the contracts. All right. I know where I can bend the rules because they haven't addressed them yet. There's every facility, everything. They've always had to update their information, but it should have been done in the first place, which is fine. It was one of those things where they overlooked a situation. With my drink company, and that was the thing. Like, there was many times I went through the small business administration back before I went into psychosis and back to school, and did their 6-week program to get a grant, of which I was doing it for a DJ thing, which would have been fucking awesome. I had all the information. I said, once the technology gets there, I'll be ready. They'll be able to do this interactive thing with their mobile apps and all this stuff. And they're like, yeah, but so all you need is this basic amount. And I'm like, I need $10,000 so that way I can start understanding the technology and all that stuff. They're like, yeah, we're not going to do that. Of which the guy that was on the board was my cheerleading coach later in college. And I don't think he knew that. I knew that. I remembered him. Anyways, he's the one that burned me with the 911 call. But anyways, everyone you meet, if you met me in person, then you're an associate, okay? Or, and I consider a family. You get one strike. I say hello because I afford that opportunity for my family. What I've learned in my past that I can share with you. So, and with, if you're seeing this, you can consider yourself part of the family, but don't use my name if you don't know me or met me or understand, and you just don't use my name. Just say, I know this guy. Okay, that's all you need to know. He's the one that helped me out because I'm always that guy. All right, time and again, I've helped people with their homework. Like, I've learned their class information, and then I would assist them either verbally or it's like with my cheerleader, my flyer, in my second and third year of cheerleading. Because, you know, junior college, when you're getting your 2 years associate, should be at least 6 years, right? Right? Because that's what you do. You take loans out so you can buy the car, and then you can't afford to pay it, so you stay in school forever. All right? Because you don't have to pay back until you drop below 12 credit hours. Unless you're disabled, and then there's like this wiggle room that they allow. So I just had to verify that it was still rolling. So I taught her how to do math, and I think I addressed that in one of the prior videos. I'm like, math is so simple. It's just follow the protocols and procedures. You know the steps. I'm like, explain this step to me before we work the problem. How would you do this? What did they tell you? They're like, you do this and this and this. And then she would get halfway through the problem. And what happens is you reach those boundaries of, you're not trusting yourself for understanding the process because you've been told, no, that's wrong, no, 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 no. And I'm like, just follow the steps, okay? And then she actually worked the problem. She talked me. I'm like, what did you just tell me before we started reading this? She's like, all right, now where are you at in the step? What can you identify? She's like, okay. And I'm like, which step is that you told me from before? And she's like, okay. And I'm like, stop talking to me and write it down. Because she was wanting me to show her on paper. And I'm like, no, you do it. So she did it. She got through the end. And she's like, I know this is wrong. I'm like, that's good. All right. You know you did it, though. You completed the problem. So I look at it. I'm like, this is correct. You got it. Now, there's 3 different ways you can do it. And I think that's where you were getting confused. You weren't sure which process to use. So, and she's like, okay, no, let me do the next one. And she was all pumped. She did the next one, perfect. And she's like, I think I understand this now. And she understood it. It was really cool. And then there was, where's the other analogy? Oh, and then, all right, I'm going to go to Arby's on this one. So I had this one employee that was just hired I was assistant manager with another assistant manager. They liked my resume because I had art outside of college, and I made this cool fucking resume. It was very appealing, and it sparked interest. Anyways, they created a new position just for me, which tends to happen in a lot of companies. Um, and then they want me to say that I owe them. I'm like, I don't owe you fucking shit. I appreciate the job and I will work hard, and that's what I owe you. I owe you a good, hardworking individual. I don't owe you anything more personally. Okay, of which that ended worse. I kept telling the general store manager who was on his way out. He already had another job lined up. He came for money. He didn't give two shits. So, but he made me apologize to the store manager for venting all the general store procedures that the general manager of the store was doing. The district manager's like, you need to pay him an apology because he got you this job and you're just burning into him. And I'm like, what type of place is this? You know, and I walked out. Shortly thereafter, after he got demoted, the general manager got demoted back to assistant manager, which needed to happen because he had, all right, some meats can last a little longer, but he was holding salami until it was green and still serving it to customers. That was a major no-no. So in my book, you know, you're wondering why customers keep leaving, and I'm telling you, you know, if you want more money as a district manager, you got to make sure these stores are running at basic functions. So, but anyways, we're training this new employee who had very good potential. She understood. She had this like this spark of life, I'm going to say, but it's more like street smarts. But she was doing dishes, and this is the one thing I learned at St. Anthony's is you never put the knife in the dirty dishwater thing because it's all soapy. She's like, I'm like, all right. So here's the deal. I saw her do it, and I saw another employee do it. I already trained the other employee, but I'm like, here's the deal. All right. Um, I saw her put the knife right in the thing. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the dishes real quick, and then I'm going to empty it out, and I'm going to ask you to walk me through your washing procedure, you know, just to inquire, to get that curiosity going. She's like, that's weird. I'm like, you're going to easily pass this. Don't worry about it. I'm just making sure that you can walk me through it, so when you're training someone else, you now know. All right? So I'm just going to show you how I do it, how I train people. You make it your own way. You train someone else. She's like, oh, okay, I can do that. So I finished the dishes for her. And then I left one after I had already scrubbed it down. I'd rinsed it off. And then I'm like, we're going to use this as an example, and then you're going to wash it and you're going to show me. So, all right. So here's the deal. I'm doing something else. I just made this dirty. It goes in the dirty thing. All right. Now, what's the first thing you do when washing the dishes? She's like, you stick your hands in the water and then you swoop your hands around. And I'm like, do you remember the last thing you put into the sink? She's like, yeah. Yeah, it was that knife. I'm like, had that knife been in there and someone else didn't know, or it was a shift change, do you think they would know that there's a knife in there? Do you think that they would swipe their hands around just like you did? Do you think they would slice their hands? She's like, oh, I didn't think about it that way. I'm like, yes. So that's why I always place the knife in the back behind the dishes. And I always make sure that they see the handle or at least a little bit of the blade while covering the blade entirely. So, but that's the first thing you want to wash, and that's the first thing you want to put up, even if you have to stop washing dishes to put it up. So that way you just avoid everything. And she's like, oh my goodness. Anyways, and I kept talking with the store manager. I'm like, you got to stop hitting on her and treating her like a sexual object because she's getting lazy. She's like, and he's like, I'm not doing that, but she's sort of, and I'm like, yeah. No, you're doing the same thing that you're doing with the meat with her. You're making her rot, okay? You're not making her a better individual later in life because you're pushing your shit onto her stuff. So, but she learned, and I guarantee you she's not going to forget that. So, and that's how I was trained at the hospital as well. So by a mentally disabled man, actually. His name was Ray. So, I forget his last name. I used to get so much alcohol from him before I started to buy it for myself at age 17. So, but, that puzzle piece, once you figure out your own puzzle pieces, it's so much easier to make puzzle pieces for other people. And you're not wanting to change them. You want them to be the best that they are. You find that little error. So they did something wrong, or they communicated something ineffectively, and it sparks an interest with you. And the politest way to do it is offer your experience and then explain how it was seen as an error to you. And then you allow them to do it. My only thing is I don't deal with action movies, and I don't deal with fighting physically. Um, I do mind fucks, mostly because I like talking to people to the point, especially women folk, to the point to where they're thinking, is he really, doing this? Is he wanting me? And I'm like, no, I'm trying to steam you up so that way you can be in your relationship, take that home, and then expel all that mind tension on your man. That's the whole point. You're paying it forward. I'm not going to touch you. You're in a relationship. You're not going to touch me. That's fine. I'm never going to question myself because I have my one. The one thing I was missing is staying that focus, meeting that person that puts the magic inside me again. So, and that's not pegging by any means. I'm never going. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not. Butthole is exit only. Anyways, I have a little tail, a little hemorrhoid that sticks out too that needs to be taken care of. But anyways, now you know. That's my deep, dark secret. That's why I look the way I look. That's why I feel dirty. Because I got a little hemorrhoid hanging out. That's disgusting, Josh. You were doing so good, and then you brought me down the rabbit hole. I brought you down to a point to where you're never going to forget it. So every time you bring it up, you're going to think of my asshole then. But thank God I give you my drink company. All right, you're going to drink that light in, okay? You're going to drink that light in. You're going to become smart. Not smart the way I know. I know smart. It's right up here. You're going to be drinking smart right in here, okay? All right. I know OxyClean has nothing to do with this, and you don't put OxyClean on your asshole. I'm not being a smartass. XO cures a lot of stuff. Hugs and kisses, okay? And you ask why? Why are you giving me so many hugs and kisses? Because I love you, all right? I love the letter U. I learned all this from you so I can be me, hugging and kissing on you. And when I hug you real tight and say, I got you, that is a lie that we're going to agree to keep, okay? Forever. Little baseball term, okay? Even if you do 3 strikes you out, if I love you that much, I'm going to let it get away. But you got to understand, you got to take the steps. You got to explain yourself why you did that. There is someone in your life that is leading you the wrong way. So, but I'll try my best to stand by your side as long as you're willing to stand by mine. So very, very simple. Drink company, 16 different drinks. You got half of them sugar free, half of them have sugar. It depends on what you want. What tastes good to you? As long as your taste buds take good, going down when you're drinking that, and the money shot is probably going to be just one or the other. That one may have some sugar flavoring. I haven't decided. I don't know enough about energy drinks, the little shots, to understanding how to flavor them. So they may be 16 different ones as well. One with a little extra sugar, one without, or maybe one will have additional caffeine. I haven't figured that out, but I know that we're going to have the 12-ounce cans. The goal is to have the 12-ounce cans, then the 16, and then the big dogs. So you got 3 different sizes, because not everyone likes, something huge in their hand, all right? Because it's too big, all right? It's made for adults, okay? You got to understand that. All right. Now anyone can buy it, but you got to teach your kids no. Okay. You can't have alcohol. You can't have this. All right. If the kid's like 7, but you got to look at Paper Moon. Okay, because she was a saleswoman. Okay, she sold Bibles. All right. She had the right to smoke because God gave her that right. Okay. If a little 7-year-old comes up and buys that in energy shot and says, I want that, okay? And the store clerk's like, I'm not going to sell that to you. I'm like, it's my God-given right to spend money, all right? I want to make change. And that's why I want to put that completely wrong if your references after this comes out. Not going there. So let's go ahead and do this. This is me paying it forward for the Rick and Morty episode of the Narrative Train. Okay. All right. So, anyways, watch Community. Clean that mouth out. Clean that mind out. Okay. Learn. Okay. There's a whole bunch of educated individuals that wrote that stuff. Their education, their life experiences are pouring out onto you. Okay. Abed is a genius. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and cash out real quick so I can upload this because he is Asperger's. Okay. And we like extra pickle on our cheeseburgers from McDonald's, 2 of them to be exact, because they all juicy and wet. All right, and I'm gonna eat them. That's what I'm gonna do. All right, my one is important. When I spend it, oh, I love y'all. All right, community, Abed. Anyways, I want to do a call out for one Abed episode. They did a psych test, and then you got to watch it all the way through, and then you'll be like, oh, Abed's the normal one. I just ruined it for you, but it's a nice little arc. And the other one's Annie's boobs, but that has to do with chicken tenders, and I ain't no chicken, so, but I'll eat those things with a little ketchup, not cats up. I don't deal with cats up. So, all right, love you. All right, be safe, stay true. I don't know. Yeah, I got one more that I can do, but because I wanted to review this video about candles, but I'm all over the map trying to tie this all up. And I keep going into my personal reservoir of information because I went through so many different people's stories that I feel it's my duty to pay it forward. And then by doing such, not only will people in my economic class or fame stature, which is zilch, famous people will be able to reference this and then be like, oh, I like this guy. I want to play this game. You know, I got money. I can throw some his way. I don't want to give too much, but I want to give everything at the same time. So 100% of myself. So, and then I will show my transition from this point forward all the way up the economic ladder and my emotional status for at least the next 2 years, to show the processes from the DVDs to the website to the drink company to the decentralized server. All right, they're all one unit, okay, as you can see. So, because of the movie, there's 2 movies I wanted to reference. Chris Pratt and, God, what's her name? Hunting Fire, Hunger Food Games. Shit. Her, yeah. We'll leave it at that. I'm an asshole. So, smart ass is what I'm trying to say. And that's why that salesman that sold OxyClean was so loud. He's like, hugs and kisses, man. That's why. Get off my shit. All right. Make sure you're clean. Wash your winky. So don't put knives in the pool. Don't drop deuces in the public areas. God. All right. Save it for home. If you can't control your bowel, then maybe you're eating something, or maybe you ain't processing something right. And then all your emotions are pouring through that internal processing system called the C drive. You know, because I saw something that is driving me, but I ain't being honest. So, all right, I love you. Be safe.